Hello, my name is Tracy LaRose, and I teach science at Antonia Middle School in the Foxy 6 School District. You're watching the Leaders Art and Science Challenge, sponsored by the Twin City Area Optimist Club. I hope you enjoy today's experiment, and remember to stay curious. So I was just asking, does anybody know what the cat's meow used to mean? Like, you watch those movies back in the 50s or so, and there was they used to say like somebody was the cat's meow. It means the best. Yes, the best. So the cat's meow is the name of today's experiment, but it's simply the best. It's an amazing experiment. This is a fun one. This is one I probably have been using this experiment for 20 years, and the kids are always excited about it. It's something that they always find entertaining, and they get to play with food coloring, and they end up with it all over their hands. But it's always a good time. So good morning. Hey, there's the Niedermans. Hi. Oh, thanks, Robin. You like my get up? I've decided that I'm going to start teaching like this every day when we go back to school. So I'm going to go ahead and I need to grab the milk because I wanted to make sure it stayed in the refrigerator. So hold on one second. I'm back. Most of the people in my house don't even drink cow's milk, but I got it just for this experiment. But that's okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some of this. I have this like pie pan metal container here. And you can use a glass one, you can use a round one, there's all kinds of different things. I've made these in the little like loaf pan, or done these in the loaf pans before. But I'm just going to pour some milk in there. When I do this with my students, I make them measure like 2 centimeters or 3 centimeters or whatever, just to get them to practice measuring. So here's the milk. I just have 2% milk this morning, but that's going to be one of the variables that you can try. If you have different types of milk at home, you could actually try it with like whole milk and skim milk and 2% milk and 1%. So good morning. I see some more people on there. I'm going to put this back in the fridge because somebody might drink it later. All right, and I was also waiting for the milk to kind of settle. After you pour things in, sometimes it's still kind of moving around, but I want this to be still. So that's what I'm doing so far. I also have some food coloring. Food coloring is not an essential, so I didn't go to the store, but I'm out of red. So I apologize. So we just have green, yellow, and blue this morning. For our colors, I didn't want to make a trip to the store just for that. So whatever you have will work. I have a lot of green. I don't know why. There's always a lot of green food coloring here. Okay, so I have them all open. I'm just going to set them over to the side here, and then I'm going to flip you around so you can see. All right, so here's my milk. You can see it's got some bubbles and stuff. That's okay. I'm just going to put a couple drops of food coloring here in the middle. There's some green. Here's some blue, and here's some yellow. I'm gonna put a little extra yellow because it's always a lighter color. It's always a little bit harder to see. Okay, so I have my milk, I have my food color in there. And then what I'm gonna do is I have some dish soap. There we go. Some dish soap and some Q-tips. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm doing this one-handed here, so I'm just leaving it on the napkin for now, but you can put this in a cup. You can just put some on there. Sometimes I just put it directly in, like I'll take it and just, put a drop in the center. But sometimes the Q-tip's more fun because you can use it over and over again. So when I take this, I've got a good amount of dish soap on here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it right in the middle here. So watch what happens. Whoa! It's making the food color move away. So now I'm gonna just get a little bit more. And we're going to try it over here. I'm going to put it in the yellow. Oh, not moving so much there. Got a little movement over in the corner here. Good morning, John. Good morning, Sella. So this is a fun one, and you can do this multiple times. Like if you had smaller containers, you could do it different times. But you can get, there, put a little drop there. See how it's got, now it's starting to move away from the corner. and it's just fun to watch. This is one of my favorites. Let me see if I can get some in this corner too, and then I'll explain what's going on. There we go. We've got some good movement in this corner there. So you'll be able to do this a couple times just to keep the milk moving and the food coloring moving. Oh, it's hard to do when I'm trying to watch through the screen here. I should pay more attention. At least my counter will be clean. I got some dish soap on it. So it's still kind of moving around. And this is the part where the kids really, they really enjoy, because they can put that in. Like here, I'll put the Q-tip over here or over here. Look at that. It's still moving right there. And you can try this, like I said, with different containers. You can try it with different kinds of milk and things like that. So that's kind of a cool one to do. And I think most people probably have milk and food coloring and dish soap in them. So I want to just give you a quick explanation of why this happens. So as I said, I called this one the cat's meow. And the reason, as you guys mentioned earlier, the cat's meow used to just mean it was like really cool or the best or something like that. But also, cats like to drink milk, so it kind of goes along with that. The kids always ask me, and I never explained to them why I called it the cat's meow, but I just called it that, and they just went with it. Some things about the milk. The milk is mostly water, but it also has a lot of vitamins, minerals, proteins, and there's little droplets of fat in the milk. So I use 2% milk, but like I said, if you use whole milk or skim milk, I don't really drink cow's milk, so I don't remember all the different kinds, but I know you can find different kinds of milk with different types of, or different amounts of fat basically in it. But inside the milk, there's little particles of fat. So the milk fat doesn't dissolve in the water. It's kind of mixed in, but it doesn't dissolve. But when the soap is added, it holds onto the soap. The soap holds onto the fat molecules. They get attached to each other, and then they also attach a water molecule. So the fat molecules are kind of like twisting and bending and all of that as the soap tries to join up with them. And so when you put the soap in there, it kind of like spreads them out as far as it can, because it's trying, the fat's trying to stay away from the soap, but the soap's trying to attach to the fat. So it makes them all move away from each other really fast. And that's why you got that really cool, when I put the Q-tip in there and they all went away from each other, that's because there was kind of a repulsion in there. So it kind of pushes the food coloring away with the soap in there. So when they're mixed more evenly, then you don't get that reaction anymore. So let me flip you back around here. So once everything gets mixed, you won't get much of a reaction anymore. When I put the Q-tip in there, or if I put a drop of soap, we probably won't see a lot, because everything's kind of at an equilibrium now, where everything's kind of mixed together. You might get a little, but not much. But it sure makes for a very pretty experiment here, with the colors all kind of swirling around. And then, of course, like all kids do, they like to just sit there and swirl it at the end and try to mix them all together and make some pretty pictures. But it is a very pretty experiment. It's something fun to do. And hopefully you learned a little bit about milk and water and soap. But the cat's meow is just a fun one to do, especially I know that we're back to cloudy skies again, so it's not as sunny as it was yesterday with the outside experiment. So if you're inside, this is something you can do. So hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock.